astrology soulmates, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of November 20th. And my goodness, we are leaving November, heading into the last month of 2020, and that's really exciting. We've been together for a pretty good journey, some pretty good experiences this year, so hold on to your emotional seatbelts because the year is not over yet. And as we kick off this week, we're actually jumping into the emotional seatbelt basket with a lunar eclipse happening in the energy of Gemini. And this is going to be a full moon. So it's very exciting. And it is also, I think, a week where we get to reflect. Typically, when I'm talking to you about the full moon, I tell you the full moon is indicating to us that it's time to end something, acknowledge something, or make an adjustment. And I think that this moon in particular, for so many people, is going to hit the acknowledgement and adjustment buttons on the table of kind of resetting what's going on in this internal world for us. So I look forward to talking about that in just a second. But this week in the Eat and Greets, we have got the beautiful Linda Bird coming over, and she is phenomenal, not only at her astrology, but also getting into the emotions and the deep layers of things. So I am really, really excited to bring her deep psychological approach to our table this week. And we're also going to have the beautiful Patricia Walsh coming over to talk to us about the different generations of these outer planets, the Pluto generations. What the heck is going on with that? Then this weekend on December 5th, should you want to, I'll actually be hopping over to do a presentation over at the NCGR Minnesota group. So I'll make sure that you have the link and all of those good things to connect. We'll be talking about Saturn as an instigator of faith instead of being the big bad wolf. So lots going on, lots of astrology learning and conversation this week. And I hope that something you hear touches you, makes you think, makes you reflect, and helps you grow. So let's jump in here and talk about what's going on this week. So right away, right out of the basket, we get here Monday, and we're going to have this full moon lunar eclipse happening at 9 degrees of Gemini. Okay, now typically a full moon is going to have us end, acknowledge, or adjust. Now, this being in the beautiful energy of Gemini with the moon, and then we've got, if it's a full moon, we know that the opposing energy is going to be the sun over in Sagittarius, shining bright and big and adventurous, big vision. And now we've got a lunar eclipse in the details of Gemini. And so we would typically be bringing conversation, associations, travel plans, decisions to a close. We're bringing them to some kind of culmination at this full moon, right? But this is not only a full moon, but it's a full moon lunar eclipse. So when we eclipse, it's like it is a blotting out or a resetting of our emotional knowledge or what we know or what we've seen. So this particular moon, instead of just having us end some things, I think there is enough tension that happens with the aspecting around this moon that we're actually having to get into the details of why something is going on, acknowledge it, and get ready to make the adjustments. Now remember, this eclipse is going to last us, the energies are going to span for us for about 6 months. So you've got 6 months to make the adjustments and get the understanding around what's going on. And if you feel like you want to know a little bit more about the in-depth ushy-gushy of this moon as well, look back to the video that I would have done, or the Eat and Greet I would have done with Ariana just last week about the full moon and the eclipse cycles here of 2020 and moving all the way through 2022. So check that out in there as well. But with this particular lunar eclipse, not only do we have the sun and the moon opposing each other, so our needs and our wants are already in tension. They're highlighted because we're going in two different directions. But we also have Venus and Uranus who are in opposition, crossing that opposition of the sun and the moon. So now we've got Venus, Uranus, relationship tension, deep relationship tension, because we've got Scorpio and Taurus opposing. So there's this very rocking, adjusting, acknowledging vibe that I feel like is happening this week. Not to mention, we get two quincunxes in the mix when we're looking at this particular moon. So I think it is critically important for us to really understand how much the acknowledge and adjust this particular moon, I think, is bringing to the table. So make sure you grab your chart, look at where 9 degrees of Gemini is going to be lighting up for you in your particular chart, so you can see how the energies are working for you and what you're being asked to adjust. But I can assure you that whatever it is, it's going to be in the details of things, in the mind. Gemini, think Gemini qualities. That's where you're adjusting with that Uranian influence. You could feel like, I want to break out of here and I need to have a new exciting experience. But are you being driven by something? Pay attention, acknowledge that, because what you don't want is for it to spill out into your 2021 experience and the people around you, and you are suffering or you're feeling like you're collapsed upon or something like that. So what are you going to acknowledge? Now, as we continue on through the week, we get to Tuesday the 1st, and we see Mercury, our planet of communication, who would have also been important at this moon as well as the ruler of Gemini. But Mercury is going to move into the energy of Sagittarius. So now we've got our detail-oriented planet moving into a sign who just wants the big picture, right? So it becomes this interesting dance of information. And it's like, I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like when Mercury is in Sagittarius, I get so distracted by every sparkly thing ever. I'm thinking about something, I'm trying to focus, and I'm like, oh, but this over here. Oh, but this over here. Or I interact with something and I'm like, yeah, but what do I think about it? It gets very philosophical, and it's beautiful to have that exploration, but it's surely something that with Mercury, a very detail-oriented mental communication kind of planet, it may be a little bit harder to focus. Instead, your mind wants to go to great places. So use that. Where are the great places and the great ideas and the great philosophies you can go, you can absorb, you can sink your teeth into? What great faith are you expanded into this week as Mercury's in the energy of Sagittarius? Take your mind, take your communication to those great places. This, I think, is an especially delicious aspect if you speak more than one language, because you really get to jump out of the box and have as much conversation as you'd like to. Now, for some of you too, I'm seeing the vision of foreign business or international business, maybe being able to come to your table, or you're able to take your message, a communication, a phone call maybe even, and expand it foreign or jump an ocean in some way, shape, or form. So let me know what big jumps in communication happen for you this week. I'd love to know about that in the comment section down below. Now, as we continue on this week, we're going to get to the 5th, we're going to get to Saturday, and we've got this beautiful Venus Neptune trine. Now, I love these two together. I call them the Bopsy twins because it's all bliss, it's all good, it's all the. Venus is over here in Scorpio. Of course, we've got Neptune still in the energy of Pisces, and they're going to meet up at 18 degrees. Now, what I love about these two coming together that I think is so useful is it's magical. It's magical. It's a pocket of ease. It's an energy of ease. It's just the best. It's so good. There's an enjoyment here if you get invited to parties or something like that where you're presenting and it's social. This is just delicious, and it's boundless. It's got this beautiful explorative, gentle energy to it. What I think is challenging about it is that what you're seeing, what you're interacting with this day could be so good, or it could be so big or so vast that you're not actually sure what you're looking at. So on this day, enjoy it. Enjoy the energy. We need the space to create. We need the space to sparkle and feel delicious and have just a good day, right? But also, I just, in a very gentle way, would like you to be mindful and maybe not make huge decisions this day if you can, because are you sure of what you're looking at? What's real, what isn't? What is just the imagination that we need to pull in new ideas? And what is the imagination that has met something constructive? So just be mindful, but enjoy the day. Create, speak, love on people, love on yourself, have something delicious to eat. It's Venus. Love on your internal self. All of that good stuff. I think it's a beautiful day for that, okay? It's going to be a good week. Lots of people coming by the Eat and Greets. Remember, you can join me on the Eat and Greets absolutely ad-free on Patreon. And coming up, you will see it coming in the description box. I have also created a new tier on the Patreon to make this channel completely ad-free. So look for more details of that coming around the bend as well, okay? All right, you guys, like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I love you a ton, and I look forward to seeing you in all of the videos and all of the interactions next week. Bye, everyone.